This is Adam Kokesh on the phone with Brandon Raub at the John Randolph Medical Center in Hopewell, Virginia, near Richmond. And Brandon, there are so many people out here who are just dying to hear how you are doing. You're in protective custody in a psychological ward. Are you being treated all right?
Oh, the nurses have treated me very well. Yes.
And everything is fine. You're not being put on any kind of medications or anything. That a lot of people are concerned that if you were sane when this ordeal started, they would do whatever it would take to get you out of your head by the time it was over.
No, I'm not on any medication.
Well, let's hope it stays that way. So, Brandon, tell us, going back to what may have caused this, what do you think led to you being singled out? We know it was the FBI and the Secret Service quoting your Facebook page, but why do you think you were singled out here?
You know, I'm really not sure. I was very open with everything I had to say on my wall on Facebook. My heart has been, always will be, for the American people to peacefully secure their own destiny. That's truly what I care about.
But there was a unique combination of song lyrics and, I mean, anti-government sentiment that we certainly share with you here. Do you think there was anything in particular that tripped it? And what do you think this says about the government that has done this to you?
Well, it's interesting to me that our own government is watching Facebook in the first place.
No kidding.
That ought to raise some eyebrows and cause a lot of good American citizens some concern. But can you state your question one more time?
Well, what do you think this says about the nature of government that we're dealing with? What do you think the lesson is that people should take away from this?
Government is like fire.
In the way that George Washington described it.
Yes, it's not eloquent, it's force.
Exactly. Now, you had a hearing earlier today, and this is what people are really dying to find out about. What was the outcome of this hearing?
Well, it's been on the news. Basically, I'm told I have to stay here for another 30 days.
So, because someone in government saw your Facebook posts and came to the conclusion that you would be a threat to yourself or others, they were able to commit you against your will, where, as you told me, you had several just 5-minute conversations with a couple of doctors and then a 15-minute hearing. And from that, they were able to make the determination legally in front of a judge with the cooperation of government that you should be removed from society for 30 days.
That's more or less true. The hearing might have been closer to 20, maybe 25 minutes, but that's pretty accurate, yes.
Well, kind of splitting hairs there, but we can all appreciate what you've gone through. And a lot of people are looking at this and hoping that you are not the first of many to have this experience. Do you think that this is like a glitch in the Matrix that should make us concerned more about the Matrix as a whole, or that this might be the start of a trend here?
Well, there's plenty of information for the American people to be concerned without me. If you study the rampant abuse of power from various federal agencies and what's going on with the increased police state right now, and you look at it with an open mind, you can quickly see what's going on. It doesn't take a PhD to figure it out.
So, what is your message for all the people that are in support of you, because they're inspired by the fact that I guess you were first on the list to be picked off? I mean, this really is unprecedented to see that the federal government, in its new snooping powers, is using them to create the excuse through your mental health to remove you from society, to silence you, to shut you up. But fortunately, we're actually in the process, as we speak, of watching this backfire, as this is really serving as a teachable moment for the American freedom movement, for the nation as a whole, and really for the entire world as to where we are with the state of governments out of control today. What is the lesson that you want people to take away from this?
Well, it's half of the reason why I said what I said, just to prove the point. I'm not trying to give anybody a lesson. I just spoke the truth as I saw it.
What do you think it was about the truth that you spoke was such a threat?
I'm truly not sure, man.
Because it was a lot. There were a lot of things that you were saying that were a threat to the establishment, talking about 9/11, talking about the Federal Reserve, talking about the structure of the elite and the powers that be. So but the thing that's scary about this, because I looked at your page, I went through a lot of it. I don't think there was anything on there that I have not posted myself in one form or another, and that thousands of other patriotic Americans and freedom lovers in the world have joined you in this message as part of the conversation, wanting to get the message of liberty out. And it's amazing to see that now that is grounds for basically, this is maybe the modern equivalent of how people get disappeared. Fortunately, they just go away to a psych ward for 30 days. But if it wasn't for our ability to stand together, to use technology to reach out, we wouldn't even be aware of what was happening with you right now.
Well, truly, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support and the outcry that I've heard. I had no idea what was going on until very recently.
Well, you're a Marine. You served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I think that just adds a whole other layer to this, because maybe it's that veterans coming home speaking out against the foreign policy that we were a part of are a particular threat to the system. But also when stuff like this happens, it means that the backlash is particularly harsh, because people see the great contradiction here from government. It really lays bare the hypocrisy and shows that the government's attitude towards troops is really like we're disposable.
Well, it's ironic because I was actually considering re-enlisted in the Marine Corps. I really love my country, and after the 6 years that I spent in active reserve and the 2 years I spent on active duty training to go overseas and overseas, some of the best years of my life, and I hope to continue that. It's extremely ironic.
Well, you have to be able to separate the crimes of government from the country. And we have been so heavily, as you know, propagandized to confuse those two. It really is a process of waking up when you're able to separate them. But I was able to talk to two of your Marine friends who served with you, Jesse and Greg, outside of the medical center, outside of the hospital earlier today when we were there waiting to hear the results of your hearing. And they were saying that a lot of the troops are waking up, and they're doing outreach to guys who are on active duty, who are overseas, who they had served with. And I think now your story, I would hope, would serve as a huge wake-up call to a lot of those guys on active duty who don't realize that they're not serving the country. They're not serving the people. They're serving the government. They're serving the banksters. They're serving the elite. They're serving the profiteers in the military-industrial complex. What would your message to guys in that situation be?
I should think it would be very obvious that they're oath to the Constitution of the United States.
And not the unlawful orders.
Well, that's what they said when they swore their oath, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, just one last question, Brandon. You've got so many people here now who are tuned into your story, who are dying to hear what you've got to say. A lot of people looking forward to really seeing you continue to grow as an activist, because obviously this challenge will bring you a lot of opportunity as well, and we really look forward to that. But to those who want to support you right now, who want to help you get out, we considered doing a phone bomb, and you want to hold back on that. But aside from spreading this message and sharing your story, what is it that people who support you can do to help you out here?
Help themselves, help their country. Educate yourself. Stand up. Find and rediscover the ideas of liberty and freedom, because those are the ideas that make us great as people.
There you have it. Couldn't have said it better. Brandon, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate the chance to interview you from behind these odd prison walls that you're behind now, as the government is hiding behind a hospital to keep you removed from society. Best of luck, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Adam.